Experts in the hospitality industry say COVID-19 has permanently changed the way hotels operate. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm KristenNWeaver. That lawsuit says Vista Shadow Mountain took advantage of its tenants and went against their rights. This has gotten a little bit violent. I'll just step out of the way and let you guys take a look at what we're seeing out here. There's an auto zone. You can probably even see there's tear gas still up there. You can see the smoke from that. Fences that were knocked over, just a lot of damage, and they're still out here trying to figure out what the extent of it is. It honestly looks like it could be an inch or 2 inches, and that's in just a couple of hours. And the community has worked to raise thousands of dollars to help bring Josh's brother back here to Skiatook for a memorial service. They'll use the rest of that money to help pay it forward to other people in need. He was working to become a pastor himself. He was only 42 years old when COVID took his life. The search wrapped up late this afternoon, but family hopes this lead is the one that finally takes them to the girls. Hundreds more people were lining up to watch. You could say it's a pretty big night of boxing here in BA. Bill and Lisa Woolley tell me they lost their jobs, their friends, all their money, but worst of all, they lost their other grandson, who is still in state custody, and they want him back. Little Elijah came into grandparents Bill and Lisa Woolley's lives when he was just a few weeks old, when Elijah's mother was going through a tough time. The Woolley's daughter, Glory, says her nephew Elijah was the sweetest baby.
He just had so much personality, even from such a young age.
Bill and Lisa say they loved Elijah deeply, and he meant everything to them. In 2018, Lisa found Elijah dead in his crib at 14 months old.
He was stone cold and he was rigid.
The Woolleys say from the start, investigators believe the couple killed Elijah, going off a nurse interview and medical examiner's report.
Your whole life can be destroyed because of something somebody says.
Bill and Lisa were fired from their jobs. They spent time in jail and say they received death threats and lost more than $500,000 in legal fees. But the worst part for them was losing their other grandson, who was put into DHS custody at just 5 years old, after investigators accused the Woolleys of also sexually assaulting him. He's still in foster care and turning 9 this year.
Basically kidnapped out of our family and for the last over 3 years.
In March, every single charge against the Woolleys was dropped by the district attorney after top child death experts agreed there was no evidence of sexual abuse or murder. Glory says after living through this nightmare, she urges people to not judge those who are accused of crimes because everyone should be innocent before proven guilty.
Don't have blind trust in the system because it's a broken system.
Now, District Attorney Jack Thorpe told us they dismissed the case after the additional evidence from the child abuse expert. As for why Elijah died, the Woolleys think it might be walking pneumonia or SIDS, but they still don't know for sure. Now they are focused on getting their grandson out of foster care and back with his family. KristenNWeaver, Oklahoma's Own, News on 6. Craig and Lori, Marcy Rogers is the donor. She wanted to give her kidney to her dad, but after she wasn't a match, she still wanted to give it to somebody else, and she knew just the right person.
He was absolutely amazing.
Marcy Rogers remembers her dad, Charles Scott, as a kind and generous Christian man.
He is the most selfless person that I knew.
Her dad got a kidney transplant in 2009, but got sick again, and Marcy wasn't a match. He passed away last year.
The day of my dad's visitation, Charles comes walking by.
We're getting ready to meet the lady, sir.
Oh, right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This is the other Charles, Charles McGee. He knew he was meeting his kidney donor today, but didn't know who it was.
You the donor?
Yes, I am.
I'm happy that you did it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe anybody be so generous.
Then the realization.
Perfect. Have we ever met before?
Charlie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Charles McGee and Marcy's dad became good friends while getting dialysis together.
We were dialysis buddies.
Yes.
And Marcy graduated with McGee's daughter. McGee even attended her dad's funeral.
In my wildest dreams, I would have never thought this.
McGee had stage 4 kidney disease and had been on dialysis for a few years. He says he was beginning to lose hope until he got a phone call that he had a perfect match.
Do you still want a kidney? I was like, well, does a bear sleep in the woods?
There was another surprise, special gifts for each other. A personal keychain for Marcy and a pillow for McGee.
This was my dad's favorite shirt to wear to dialysis because it always kept him so warm.
Marcy says her dad is smiling down from heaven today. McGee now has the gift of a lasting friendship and a new, happy life.
You're a godsend.
I'm so happy I could do it for you.
Ascension St. John wants to emphasize that anyone can be a living kidney donor and get on their list to save a life just like Marcy did. Live in Tulsa, KristenNWeaver, Oklahoma's own News on 6. First at noon, supporters of Julius Jones are rallying at the state capitol right now, urging Governor Kevin Stitt to commute Jones's death sentence to life in prison. Thanks for joining us. I'm KristenNWeaver. As you're preparing to start your day, here's a look at some of the big stories impacting our community this morning. Today, a group of defense attorneys representing those charged in the January 6th insurrection will be allowed to tour the Capitol. A Wisconsin jury is deliberating right now on the fate of Kyle Rittenhouse, the 18-year-old charged in the shooting deaths of 2 men and wounding a third during a night of violent protest in Kenosha last year. Today, people took part in this year's Tulsa Walk to End Alzheimer's. President Biden has now signed the historic federal infrastructure bill into law. It includes money to improve roads, bridges, ports, public transit, and expanding broadband access. Tulsa's Route 66 Commission is looking to revitalize the historic landmark and boost business for shops along the stretch. News on 6's Ashlyn Brothers joins us live from the Meadow Gold District with those details. Hey, Ashlyn. Today marks Tulsa's 4th annual 918 Day. The day celebrates Tulsa's diversity and growth, and today a record number of people took part in a massive scavenger hunt all over Tulsa city parks. News on 6's Angelica Bruton spoke to the group as they helped several cats and dogs catch a flight out of the Will Rogers World Airport. Joined again today by Natalie Michaels of the Made in Oklahoma Coalition, and she's doing twice-baked sweet potatoes. Natalie, this sounds amazing. Steven, let's say, hypothetically, I have plans today. What do I need to know? I need an umbrella. What do I need?
Got to get a couple wins to get our boys in there.
It's a lot of pressure to put on someone, a must-win situation. Here at News on 6, I think that we're pretty big cat fans.
Yes.
It happens to be International Cat Day, I've heard, which is, I think, a big holiday. We're all celebrating it. Thank you, Stephen, and thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see y'all at 4. Have a great rest of your afternoon.